Lexford, brother. Love you to an extreme. First of all, I would like to say I thank you all for coming. I thank you all for representing, especially those who have come away, all the way from Bedford. I show you all respect and love. Thank you for coming for so far. Diane, Janae, Justin, all of our family from Bedford, Glenn, Linda, the Wilsons, many of you. Thank you for the long journey. Cappy, would love and respect you for this. And as is my sister Becky, pray, thank God for her. Amen. Right, I would just like to say, first of all, this really touched me. Jermaine, I got a nephew called Jermaine Jackson, who lives in Bedford, and he contacts me from prison, and he's very sad that his granddad has passed away, and he can't cope. So, in the walls of his prison, he's only doing a few months. I said to him, "You can't be there, I know." I said, "Please, tell me what you want me to say for your granddad." And he told me these words. He said, he's 35, Jermaine, grandson. "I'm sorry I could not be present. I'm heartbroken, as both my grandparents' funerals I missed. But I connected with them in meditation, and I long for the day I see them again in heaven. They are at peace with God. Granddad, I miss you. Please watch over us all. Amen." Thank you. You know, I'd just like to say that Cappy brought me up when, I'll be honest, my real parents passed me over to him in the 70s, and I was brought up with Cappy and Kathleen, the mother of Diane, my sister. I see Diane as my sister, who she is, my little sister. And we were brought up in the 70s with Cappy and Kathy, and Neville joined us in 1978. And yes, we remember him working at Sino Channel, bringing home blocks of leather. Did we know what he was going to do with them? But he knew they were worth a bit of money, rather than them get thrown away. That would make me laugh when he would come in with those. The touching thing is, bizarrely enough, my real dad, who gave me over to Cappy, is called Louis, of whom my sister is here today. Cappy and Louis, Mr. Cambridge, my real dad, are cousins from Jamaica. When they first come over here in the 70s, they rolled together as brothers, each of them taking a girlfriend that was sisters, Kathleen and Christine. But eventually I was given to Cappy, and Cappy looked after me for my life. So Cappy would often say to me, "You are my blood." I always remember him saying that, "You are my blood." And I used to think, blood? I'm only a child, what do you mean blood? But he said, "You are my blood, you are my relative," but I said, "You are my father still, you're still my father still," yes. So that was a little bit confusing, but keep it in the family, you know. And the good thing about it all, though, is the most important thing I believe is that Mr. Lexford Brown, for some reason I was born Carlton, Lexford, Jackson. So I carry his name, and I see it written there, Mr. Lexford Brown. I've given that name to my son as well, Asa Lexford Jackson, because his name represents strength. It represents love. It represents the Caribbean, which we never knew about. It represents Jamaica. And you know what, I tell you what, I know I brought this flag just to show you a bit of Jamaica for my Cappy. He loved this Jamaica country. You know, out of many one people. You know, one love. You know. Yes. And what I'm saying is Cappy loved us all. You know, loved Diane, Janae, Justin, Jermaine, all of us. So what Cappy taught me was, he taught me patois. He taught us all patois. He taught us Jamaican. From a young age, we'll be sitting there And instead of saying, go over there, he'll say, go over there. And we'll be thinking, go over there? He will also teach us to go, if we're to, go over there, Guan. Guan. And we think, Guan? So, because we were English, but we learned, it was strange learning all these languages that were coming into the house. And instead of saying that, pass that. And we're like, oh, pass this. No, pass that. All right, that. But we couldn't go to school talking like that. And as Neville knows, he taught Patois very, very strong. And I talk it too, sometimes, because that's all we would hear. And people say to me, but you're not Jamaican. I said, well, I know I'm not, but I heard it all me growing up, what am I supposed to do, speak Italian? I speak Jamaican, that's what he taught us. And also with Cappy, it's very important. I went to view his body yesterday in the chapel of rest, and he looks so beautiful. The casket will be open for you to pay your final respects, and you'll see how beautiful he looks in his suit, in his tie-pin, and in his shoes. And he looks... he's a dapper man, that's right, Diane. And he looks so beautiful, and he looks young, and you're going to love him with his beard, and trimmed nicely in his hair. Yes, and it's trimmed nicely and great. And in the parlour, I managed to hold his hand, and holding his hand, I managed to hold his hands. His hands were very cold, but I wanted to just be at one with Mr. Lexford Brown, so I held his hands nicely. I also touched his eyebrows because we all have the same eyebrows as Lewins. And Kev is very thick, we are. Very thick eyebrows, and I just touched his eyebrows for the last one, and I gave him a kiss on his brow. And I tried to leave, after I said a prayer for him, holding his hand, in my heart, I wish he could have walked out of there, but God's time comes for us all. And 77 is a long time, and I would gladly live to 77, given that spectrum. And whilst I was in there, as I tried to walk out the door, you can imagine the coffin there, and it's open, and Cappy's there. I'm trying to walk away, and I'm thinking, I can't leave. How can I go out that door and you're just lying there like that? And I tried to go out the door, and I said, one more time, I better go and see Cappy, our dad. I've got to see our stepdad, our dad again. And I looked, and I looked, and I looked, and I said, it was wonderful, And that's it. I just want to say thank you very much, because my time is up now, and I'll give somebody else a chance. But the last thing I would like to say is, we're missing the cook. He was a good cook. His plantain, his dashing, his dumplings, everything. We're down the cook. So I've heard of Levi roots, but Cappy roots. And he loves you all. One love. Bless you all. Bless you all. Thank you, God.